Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know when you're going to be watching this episode of Agents in the Trenches, the real raw realities that agents are right now experiencing in this market. But I can promise you one thing, this is going to be off the charts. As always, I am Lucy Quinones, international real estate and business coach, broker in real estate since 2005, and your friend. And I love being here, especially because we are bringing such enlightenment. Our last one was incredible, but this one's going to be even better. So I want to invite my co host. As you guys know, I am a firm believer we all need a running partner, and I am super excited to be able to bring on stage the one and only. Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Talia here. Super excited to be here. I think this is also going to be an amazing conversation that we're going to have. I mean, it's always been pretty good, right? Like every time it keeps getting better, and our guest speakers always brings the fire. So I'm super excited for this one.
So, guys, today we're going to be talking about an incredible topic. And I think
Yes.
if you are watching us on live, go ahead and put and drop in the comments hashtag live. Or if you're going to be watching this and you are watching this on replay, hit hashtag replay. Don't be a spectator. Drop your comments, drop your questions, engage with us, say hi. We'll say hi back. But today we're going to be talking about a topic that I believe when you told me about it, Talia, I was like, this is going to be really good. You want to share with us what we're going to be talking about?
Yes, and I also want to say share this live with someone, an agent or a friend in the business, because this conversation is going to resonate with someone, right? Florida, I mean, a lot of people come from Florida, from all over the United States. So this conversation is going to be just that, it's how this person is thriving in uncharted territory. Right, he came from California, brand new here in Florida, and now he's had to reinvent himself. He's had to do new things and implement things in his business that he's hasn't done before. So this conversation is going to be just on that, is how he is doing it. I'm not from Florida, I'm from Connecticut. So when I came down here, I mean, this even the environment is different. The types of people here are different. So,
Yeah.
it's not something where you just come in and then you start rolling. A lot of times you do have to, figure out, okay, what's going to be my first step and how am
Right.
I going to continue to go? So, yeah, someone is going to resonate with this. I know for sure.
So without further ado, drum roll, I want to thank this incredible pro. Yes. Go ahead. Welcome to the stage. Introduce yourself. No one knows you better than you. So tell us all about you so that our audience can really know why we're so excited to have you.
Well, it's an honor being on here. I really appreciate you guys having me. It's always a good time to have a conversation and talk about what's going on. But my name is Gus. I'm with TBF Mortgage, loan officer. Like Thalia said, newer to Florida. Been here for a year exactly now.
Wow.
October was the mark of the year. So,
Wow.
um, but yeah, just out here hitting, the grind that we're all doing, and then kind of going through this market and um, doing what we can do to survive this and continue to thrive in this kind of market and in the industry.
Well, I have to say, and I want to thank you publicly because you have been one of our sponsors almost from the beginning at this incredible initiative and vision that I had called the Southwest Florida Realtor Mastermind. And, you've really made, even from day one, you made such a difference. So I'm very excited about that. So thank you. But let's kick it off with, who is Gus? Tell us a little bit about Gus, the deep, raw, real realities of, how did you get to where you are today?
Yeah, like Leah said, I'm from California, so born and raised, never had been out of the state, and from since I was little to now, I always wanted to help people, and whether it was through being able to help in service or whatever it is, that's kind of where I wanted to kind of push myself and go towards. So back in 2018, I graduated college, And I always wanted to go into sales. My aunt was in sales all her life, and I really looked up to her, and she kind of had a big inspiration on that. And that's what I wanted to do. So I went into sales. I sold solar for some time, and after that, the pandemic hit, and mortgages were really hot. Rates were at a great time, and so I went into the mortgage industry. And since then, I haven't looked back. I love it. I love being able to help people be able to buy homes, save money, whatever it is when it comes to mortgages. That's something that I really, really enjoy, and like it brings me, really a good feeling when I'm able to help somebody. Like, one of those people that are buying for the first time, right? And they finally got to be an owner, or a person that needs help with saving money to refinance, to take some cash out of their house, to get out of debt, whatever it might be. There's a big joy of being able to help, and I just love it, and I don't see myself being in any other industry.
And I'm so happy to have you. When you joined us at the very first Southwest Florida Realtor Mastermind, and I'm super proud of what you talked about, because you literally said, I am the first boots on the ground for my company. And I said, man, that is so amazing that a company would find someone with such an incredible desire to succeed, right? Because most people want to stay in their comfort zone. Most people don't want to get out of the box, break the box, and build a new box. But I mean, you literally, forget about the comfort zone. You literally took yourself out of your comfort state, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that, because I think right now in this market, which we're talking about, thriving in uncharted waters like we have right now, how did that even happen? How did you even have that thought, and how did you dare to do that?
Yeah, well, I got recruited from one of my good friends that is out here in Florida as well, and it was more of just believing in myself and trusting that my abilities, that I can do them anywhere, right? And it's taking a shot on yourself, right? Because I come out here and fail, but I would never know if I didn't try, right? And it's just putting all my chips on myself and betting on myself and doing it. And you really, unless you actually do it, you'll never know if you could or not, right? And I think that's what it is more than anything.
Oh, but come on, that you make it sound so easy. I want to know the real, raw reality. I mean, listen. First of all, it sounds easy. It's simple, right? Okay, I'm gonna, put the chips on me, and I'm gonna take a chance, and I'm gonna bet on me. But I mean, there has to be some thoughts that come at you, especially when the doors are not opening, because that's what always happens, especially when you're not seeing the results, and you're like, man, everything I'm doing, and come on, so break it down for us. Tell us the real reality.
All right. I guess I will. No, to be honest with you, like I would be lying to you and telling you that I've had the most, productive year this year. I've been the most producing the most I've ever produced, because that's not the truth. It's been hard. It's been really difficult coming out to a new state. Literally making a name for yourself, because nobody knows who our company is. Nobody knows who I am, and it's been a lot of struggles. There's been a lot of adversity that I've had to face. And at the end of the day, what's allowed me to continue to go forward and push through it is my mindset, having a positive mindset. And, some days like absolutely suck. They do. And there's like, you seriously question if you're in the right industry, right place, right time, all those things, right? But at the end of the day, it's, pushing to the next day and just making it through that day, and having the right mindset, waking up and having good energy, and then pushing through it, and just knowing that maybe right now you're not seeing the results, but the results are going to come. you continue to do the right things, right habits, right, put everything in line, you're gonna get right results, right? You put out good energy, you get good energy. You put out bad energy, you get bad energy. You put bad thoughts out there, you're gonna get bad thoughts. It is what it is. Like you get what you receive, and you receive what you get, right? But yeah, that's kind of what it really comes down to is mindset.
I would love to stay. I would love to stay a little bit there, what you're talking about, because I think, like Lucy said, it's easier said than done. So talk to us a little bit about how you prime yourself, your mind, right, going into every day, because every day in this field, you never know what's going to be thrown at you, right? Like from 1 minute to another, you can have everything scheduled out, right, laid out, but then a fire goes out somewhere, and now you're like, oh, so now I have to deal with this fire. So, but we all know, if you prime your brain, you prime your mind, you'll handle the fire a little bit better, right? But if you don't, then a lot of times you're like, oh gosh, what do I do? So tell us a little bit about that. Like, how do you prime your mind?
Yeah, when it comes down to that, there's a lot of things, right? And it's different for everybody, right? For me, I love working out. It gives me good energy. It gets me going. It gets the blood flowing. Like that's for me, right? For other people, it's meditating, reading, doing a prayer, whatever it might be. But whatever that is for you, right? Because we're all different. We all work differently, and that's totally fine, right? That's why we're different. But whatever brings you to that place of like, okay, what's going to get my mind right and get ready to go, right? So that's for me. But also I have a scattered brain. I have 30 different thoughts going on at one time. And the way to control that is, being organized, right? Having a set schedule. I've been doing stuff at a certain time and being disciplined enough to be able to do that stuff, right? And continue to do that. There's always going to be fires that you have to put out, and they're going to come at the most worst times and unexpected times, right? But when you have a mindset that you're in a good mindset, like you can be like, okay, this is what's going on. What do I do about it? How do we solve this problem? How do we, get to the next one? Is it going to be stressful? Is it going to suck? Yeah, it might be. But, as long as you have a problem-solving mentality and let's get this done and see what we need to do, instead of crying and moping about it, that makes all the difference, right? So I think that's where I am able to get through those obstacles because, being organized, or I'm doing, and when I'm not organized, or I'm not working out, like I can feel all the difference in the world. Right? So it's night and day.
So I have a question. I want to ask Gus, and for those of you that are watching now, we've got people that have joined on since. Thank you so much. Let us know you're there. Say hi. We'll say hi back. Share this with someone. Listen, our whole industry, our whole real estate industry, and when I talk about real estate industry, it's realtors, brokers, team leaders, surveyors, appraisers, you name it, mortgage people, bankers, insurance people. Everyone is feeling the resistance, right? The resistance in the market. But Gus, I want you to kind of hover over a little bit about, you said, I put myself in a good state of mind, and the way that I do that is by exercising. Now, and I'm sure you've heard, that we are the country on the planet with the worst health and physical health. And when you said that, it resonated with me because I found this year, for the first time in my life, okay, that running does it for me. When I run, and trust me, every morning I wake up and I say I don't want to do it. That's the first thing my stupid brain tells me is, oh, you don't want to do that today. But I have found that when I run, it puts my mind in a very important state. It gives me the ability to just be at my optimum level. And then you said, some people exercise like you, and then you said some people meditate. And then you said, and some people do a prayer, and I'm like, oh, geez, I need so much help. I do all three. I do all three. Because literally, I could break down the pattern that I follow that I know gives me my optimum level. Now, trust me, I'm not perfect. There are days where, oh my gosh, I fall off track. But let me tell you, I've been keeping my 5 days a week, non-negotiable. How did you find that it was exercise? And how do you, oh my gosh, how do you overcome when you don't want to do it? Because there's so many people out there that are not at their optimum because they're not doing what gets them into their optimum state.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've always been active. I played sports throughout all my life, and that's a happy place for me, right? I love that outdoors. I love like all that kind of stuff. So it just that's been something naturally for me, right? But also like I can just tell the difference when I'm working out, I'm eating healthy, I'm doing the correct things to when I'm not, right? And I'm not being on top of my stuff, and I could just feel the difference in my days, the results that I'm getting, in my outside life and stuff like that. But also it's kind of, it's trial and error, right? You try something and it works for you, then great, you continue to do it. If it doesn't, then you don't, and you try to like find something else, right? I've noticed that when I'm reading more, it's very, very helpful for me as well, and I need to get back on reading because I've always struggled with reading, right? But that's it gets my mind in a different place as well, right? It's a very healthy thing to do as well. But it's all trial and error, and I think if we don't try, we won't find out, right?
Yeah,
that's a big thing.
I think people are seeking. Talia, what did you want to ask? Anything about that, or what else? Let's continue to unpack this conversation.
Yes. Okay. So let's say, right, one day you don't work out. And you said you feel the difference in your performance and whatnot. So, let's talk about that day specifically. Something comes up. What more, like, do you have something that motivates you to not throw in the towel on that day? Or, like, tell me a little bit about if something arises when you are completely off track. How do you stay focused?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that it's impossible when I don't work out, right? That's just, but that at the end of the day, it's the will to do it, and you gotta do it. Like, but yeah, is your energy going to be a little off? Like, would you have more energy to deal with something like that if you did whatever you need to do to get your mind right? Yeah, probably. But since you didn't, well, too bad. You're going to have to do it anyways, and now it might suck more than it would have sucked if you did whatever it is to get your mind right. But you still got to do it. Doesn't matter. That's on you. You got to be responsible.
So it's a decision.
Yep.
So it's a decision. Speaking of decision, I mean, you're out there, you're talking to people, you are hanging out with realtors, you're hanging out with team leaders, you're probably visiting offices or whatever you do to get your name out there, because you said you moved here from California and, I mean, nobody knew you. Break it down for us. What's the temperature? What are you sensing in the real estate agent arena? What's happening? What would you say, just to really laser it down? What's their biggest struggle that you're noticing out there with agents and team leaders and even brokerages?
Yeah. This is going to be like a broken record, right? But it's this market sucks. This is the worst market ever, right? It's only the worst market, and this market sucks because you make it, right? I know people that are having their best year yet. But why are they having their best year yet if, other people, like, they can do it? Why can they do it but other people can't, right? Are rates at a 23-year high? Yeah. Does that affect the qualifying, how much people can qualify for? Does it unqualify some people? Definitely, without a doubt. That is just the reality of it. But there's still people that need help. There's still people that need to buy a house. There's people that still need to sell a house. Like, there's still work to be done, and there's still, people to help. And it's just finding the right people. Is it gonna? So let's just go back 3 years ago, where every 3 people that you talk to, one of them you were helping. Now it's going to take every 12 people that you talk to, one of them to help. It's just a numbers game.
A numbers game.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. So let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, I feel that, and my coach last year, Eric Worre, I'm a product of coaching. I believe everyone needs to hire a coach that is going to help them navigate through uncharted waters. That's going to help you, confront the things we don't want to confront. Like, come on, who wants to have somebody telling you, listen, you just fumbled, and help you see where you fumbled and why you fumbled, and ask you the tough questions. Okay, so how do you feel about this? What are you going to do different? What would you want us to do different? So he would say that blame shifting is the worst habit that humans have, and it's the most damaging, because the truth of the matter is, you just said it. People are blaming the interest rates. People are blaming the market. People are blaming the broker, everybody, right? Why do you think they're not taking responsibility? Because at the end of the day, like you just said, there's still people buying and selling, and there's still a lot of people doing business. So what is stopping them from taking responsibility and saying, I just need to get off my butt and go hustle and go hunt like a hungry lion? Like, I'm going to go eat and I'm not coming back without my prey. What do you think is stopping them?
Themselves. They're getting in their own way, right? You only go as far as you push yourself or you make yourself go. As long as you say, hey, I'm done, that's where you're going, right? It's a lot of people play that victim mentality, and it's unfortunate to see, but you got to get out of that headspace. Have I been there before? Yeah, definitely. I've played that, right? But it's about turning around and saying, I'm responsible for my life. I'm responsible for my results. I'm responsible for what is to come from what I put out there, right? And once you take responsibility, then that's when the change happens.
I love it. What do you think, Dali?
Yes, I think it boils down to 2 things. And, you said it best. Your mindset, right? Because if you're telling yourself, oh, this market sucks, that is what you're going to be putting out, right? And then your skill set, how do the person wants to buy or sell. They want to. But if they're hearing, oh, the market, the interest rates is this, that, and the third, right? You have to be able to, show them like why they need to, perform, whether they have to buy, whether they have to sell, why they should. So like articulating that. So I think that is what it boils down to. So Gus, I wanted to ask you a question. Okay, what are you doing anything different? And if you are, like, what are you doing different to kind of survive this market?
Yeah, I think, getting yourself out there, doing this realtor mastermind, networking, meeting people, doing what other people are doing open houses, doing what, going to real estate offices, whatever it is, that's what I'm doing and putting myself out there. Because if I just stay at home and don't do any events, don't do any networking, none of that, who's going to learn about me? Who's going to know about me? Who's going to be able to get in contact with me, right? If I just, try to do some cold calls and stuff like that, like, it just doesn't work that way. You might get a lead here or there, but at the end of the day, it's putting yourself out there, right? And kind of just, I think the importance of networking is way, way, way beyond what people think it is, right? And they're awkward sometimes. I get awkward sometimes, but it's you have to do it. You have to do it, and when you do it, you get results out of it.
So I want to kind of go in a direction of the next 3 years. Right now, I'm doing certifications with Tony Robbins. So shout out to my coach, Tony Robbins, because the man is the GOAT. When you have worked with millions of people all around the world, including prime ministers and, country leaders and top-notch, performers and athletes. And I mean, the results are there. He says that the next 5 years, I want to know what you think about this, and Talia can chime in. The next 5 years are going to be the most important 5 years of the planet's life. Like, that includes everyone, right? So let's say of our life, your life. The next 5 years are the most important years of our life. But the next 3 years are going to be defining, because there's going to be a lot of people that win and win big, and there's going to be a lot of people that lose. And the majority are going to lose. What do you think about that? Where do you see yourself in that?
Yeah, I think it's super important to see that there's a lot of changes that are happening, all across the world, all across the country, and it's how you face the adversity, right? How you face and continue to thrive through those times, because they're going to be trying, they're going to be hard, they're going to be difficult. I think it is important to shaping who we become when times get really rough and really hard, right? Our market is the economy is not in the best place, right? And that affects a lot of people, right?
So experts, yeah, and that's a good point that you made. The economy is not in the best place. Listen, it is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. And so if the next 5 years are the most important years of, and I think the main thing is we got to see it that way. There's a lot of people that are just wasting time. They're wasting time. Like, time doesn't matter. So if the next 5 years are the most important years of our life, and the next 3 years are defining, I mean, there's going to be people no longer in real estate or the real estate industry. I mean, in the next 3 years, let me ask you, what do you do to prepare? You exercise, you meditate, you stay active, but what is another key component that can make or break you?
Yeah, I think, I'm always going to go back to mindset, but also it's what we do, right? It's like a snowball effect, right? What we do now, like down here in Southwest Florida, we have season coming right around the corner, start January to May. Even now, you're starting to see a lot more people come down. It's our busy season, right? But what you do in these months affect how your season's going to go, right? What you do to prepare is what affects the outcome in the future, and that's a snowball effect for this year, next year, the year after that. It's just a continuous thing that you got to stay consistent, kind of continue to do it. You got to prepare.
Oh my gosh. I love hearing that from you. Talia, let's start closing it out because we want to be respectful. And guys, please share. Everybody, share this live. Share it on your profile. This conversation has been, profound and real, which I love.
I want to just say something really quickly before I close out, going back to, the next 3 years, the next 5 years. I saw this meme the other day that made me laugh, and it says something along the lines of, I wish I had bought a house back in 2008, but I was too busy in 8th grade studying, right? And it made me chuckle because I'm like, in the same spectrum, it's like, there was a lot of opportunities where people, were losing out. Some people were winning, right? So I don't think we're in 2008, but there's some struggle, and I'm excited about it, but I'm also nervous at the same time because, it's going to be like uncharted waters, like you're saying. But when you align yourself with the right people, right, they're going to help you not only prime your brain, prime your mindset, but prime your skill set, so like that you can survive it and you can continue to grow, right, and take advantage of the opportunities instead of being the person that's losing out on opportunities. So I'm super grateful because these past 2 years, it's been crazy, but I'm so grateful for Lucy because she has helped me. Like, Lucy, you have helped me along the way. Like, I probably wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for you. You the person I was 2 years is definitely not the person that I am now. And the next 3 years, I'm going to be somebody completely different. So I think, I think it just comes down to like align yourself with the right people. So starting, well, if you haven't come to any of our Realtor Mastermind, come October 25th, because that is the room you want to be in. You're going to be surrounded by these kinds of people where they're going to put you, farther along. They're going to say things that maybe you've never heard before. So October 25th from 10 to 1 p.m. In Miramar Design Center, you want to be there in our next Realtor Mastermind. We have the links already. It's all over social media. So go find it if you don't have it and register, secure your seats. It's going to be absolutely fire.
Yes, absolutely. And again, thank you so much to Gus and his company for being one of our sponsors almost from day one, right? And for continuing to be there. So Gus, you're also going to be on the panel. You're going to be talking to us about, the stuff that it's taken for you to get to where you are, and, how you are overcoming challenges in life and business. And we're going to, this is the elite lineup. So the location is going to be incredible, or is incredible. I was blessed with two amazing women that became co-organizers, and I want to give them a shout out, Martha Pino and Bianca Pino, who also you met, right? Gus, you got to meet them.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how that came together.
Yeah, well, from the Southwest Florida Realtor Mastermind, I've met absolutely killers in the industry and made some really good friends along the way. And it all comes from this mastermind that we love supporting. I love being there. I love being a part of. It's great. It's great energy, motivational. You learn so much as well along the way. And Martha and Bianca are absolutely awesome to be with, and I can't wait to be there in their building and being able to share that time with everybody.
Listen, let me tell you, it was so crazy because this totally manifested. Talia, I'm gonna let you, because I'm actually giving them a shout out on the chat. Tell everybody how this manifested, because the first thing that happened, and I'll kind of kick it off, the first thing that happened is people at the last mastermind said, could you make it more centrally located near Naples? Because we have so many people that want to come from Naples and Bonita and Estero. And then by the same token, I had other people saying, oh, I've got people also that want to come from Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda, so don't take it all the way to Naples. And so Talia, tell everyone how this just happened.
Yeah, so it was so funny because here we are, right? We're like, okay, well, we need to make it centrally located. So we started looking at Bonita Springs, Estero, and we were going, calling hotels, calling, different venues and whatnot. And, it's just something didn't click. Like, we just weren't feeling it. And then it's funny because Lucy sent me a text message. She's like, oh my goodness, I think I found the next Southwest Florida Realtor Mastermind location. I was like, oh my God, really? For real? So she sent me a picture of it, and it was just a huge place. And I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to see this place. So, then we went to go check it out, and Martha and Bianca their office is in that building. So, they made their connection, and they said, okay, come check it out and see if this place is it, right? Because if we don't feel it, then it wouldn't have been it. Right. But immediately we were there, we're like, wow, this is next level. This is next level for sure.
So we're definitely taking it to the next level. Gus, tell us what you'd like to share to, bring this to a close. Any thoughts, any feelings, any suggestions? Speak to us from the heart, because the heart always knows better.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm absolutely grateful for, you, Lucy, you, Thalia, the Southwest Florida Realtor Mastermind. It's really taken my my business and my game to the next level. And I'm grateful, you know, for being able to be surrounded by like-minded people, networking with people that, you know, have a drive, that, you know, want to be successful, right? And then some that are already successful and still want to push for more, you know, and just being surrounded around people like that, it just makes me happy, and makes me want to continue to, you know, get after it, and, you know, continue trying to be successful in this market.
I just got goosebumps. I just literally got chills. You know why? Because after the mastermind, the last time that you were with us, I've had conversations with people that, you know, came, and every time they said to me, I met up with Gus, you know, I got together and spoke to Gus. My heart literally, and I'm not just saying this, it swelled up with joy, because man, there's nothing more I wanna do than see people win. Like, there's nothing, like, money is not the matter, right? What matters to me is the purpose behind the profits. The profits are gonna come, and as you guys know, this is a free event. You know, I put myself on the line. If we get sponsors like, you know, Gus, we are great, because we can, you know, repurpose those funds and do what we have to do, because there's a cost of doing business in absolutely everything that you do. But I already knew, you know, I'm going to invest in this, because I think when we invest in humans, there is a big rewarder that will make sure that we get that back. But when I heard that you were meeting up with people, and I gave him business, and I reached out to him and we connected, I was like, oh my God, it's working. So I'm super happy for you guys. And I just want to see you continue to grow and scale and dominate the market, and, you know, just be a staple at the mastermind, because I'm just getting started. I'm just figuring this thing out. I mean, the best is yet to come.
Oh yeah, this is just getting started. I can't wait till we're down the line, and, you know, a few years from now, and we look back and we're like, remember when we started, or we got this all going on? I can't wait. It's just starting.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank your company for believing in this pioneering vision. But yes, this is just the beginning. And so thank you for being here with us. Dali, I'll let you close it out.
Yes, thanks, Gus. We really appreciate you coming on and your open-mindedness. Like, that's one of the biggest things. When I reached out to you and I proposed, like, hey, do you want to sponsor this event? I mean, you didn't even really hesitate. You said yes. And I think that is probably, I would say, one of your biggest, I don't know, I'm just saying, one of your biggest, you know, best quality, being open-minded. So I would encourage anyone who, you know, gets presented an opportunity that you're not too sure about. I mean, it's presented to you for a reason. So, you know, take it, right? Be open-minded about it. So if this is, you know, if you needed to hear this and this is your sign, like, give us some shout outs, you know, give us some hearts. And thank you so much for watching Agents in the Trenches, a raw discussion of what it's like to be a realtor, a business owner in this market. Check us out again next Friday around 12 to 12:30, and like, share, and comment. Thank you so much for watching.